There's something unimaginative about a restaurant that uses a number for its name. 27 by Jamie Rogers at least has the decency to write it out as a word. Before we get into the fun, there is one excellent thing about this place. It offers fleshy, vegetarian and vegan tasting menus in 4 and 6 courses. I've seldom been in a restaurant which feels like it more desperately wants a Michelin star. Fortunately for this restaurant, Michelin stars are not given for service. However, given we're still in a pandemic, I think the fact that they have staff at all was amazing, so I sort of rode with the, let's say, idiosyncrasies. What I first noticed and got increasingly fixated with was what possessed somebody to put a piece of red cut glass in the rose on the table. Turns out this was a warning, possibly from a previous guest. The meal started quite strong, with a cauliflower cappuccino. This was tiny and fit the brief as an amuse-bouche. Next up was this kohlrabi and parsnip tartlet with a sort of quail egg hat. Kohlrabi is a fancy cabbage. This was passable, but left little to remember it for. Course 3 was a beetroot mille feuille, which the server helpfully explained means million leaves. I just smiled. That was just the start of my confusion, though. The description went on to say that it was temperatures and textures of Sauterne, which is a sweet wine from Bordeaux. And the dish did have texture and it had temperature, so it was, at least to minimal standard, correct. Course 4 was tofu. The only way you can go wrong with tofu is make it bland. This was 5-spiced, so it had a fighting chance, and I think it just won on points. Course 5 was a pearl barley based dish. This had too much pumpkin for me. It's a personal thing. It was presented professionally, but it was between me and a sorbet, so I kind of resented it. At this point my English sparkling wine appeared. Maybe they thought I wasn't getting my 5 a day, because it had a raspberry being drowned in it. So for the second time that night I was left speechless, and I guess I'll never know what that sparkling wine tastes like without the death throes of a poor little fruit. Next up was a mezzanine course of mandarin sorbet and coconut granita. There's this sort of snow effect on it, which was rather beautiful. Last it was baked Alaska, what that drag queen ever do to you, and fruit salad. Sound 70s, tasted delightful. All in all, clearly a lot of work had gone into these dishes, and at £80 for the 6-course tasting menu, that's actually not bad for this much beautifully presented food.